Shooting.
Oh, yeah, how to get going, Ken.
That's a zoom in there somewhere. Now you gotta tell them what we're doing here. That one's very tight.
Them valves and guides.
That one broke, right? Another broken one? That one broke too?
That one broke, but they're not that tight. That's better. That one works better.
New guides, new valves. Look at the cracks.
Oh, that was a lot better too.
It's a tight fit.
That was a good fit. Perfect. Whatever that was, it's the right fit.
Not to be going in a minute.
That one's tighter.
4:35. I gotta be there before 5.
Alright.
Exhaust release. Okay, we're already halfway done. All right, sir.
Was it recording?
Okay, I'm gonna cut the heads here for valve seals. So we got a valve seal cutter here. So we're gonna just do the quickie here. Knock this thing out real quick. So you can see how you do it. That cuts it out. This is the before on this side. You can see it. And that's what it looks like after you cut it. Two on this head. Alright, that's how you do it there. Now for underneath the head I use this tube right here with a little bevel cut on it. That sits up here in the valve seat area. So it's fully self-aligning, it doesn't dig in anything. If you use a more sharp edge like that, it would tend to dig in more. So use that. It just kind of self-centers up here as the angle changes a little bit. And then able to hold the head so you can do it easily. So I'm going to do the honing next. Okay, we'll go ahead and cut the guides here real quick for the our honing out for the valves here. And we're doing a very low cost, cheap overhaul on this motor. It's a throw together basically. And he just wants to get through the summer with the motor and have to redo it again next year. So, not the way I normally want to do this stuff, but this is what he wants. So we use cheap guides, cheap valves. This is all leftover stuff from my dad's shop back in the early 70s, late 60s parts. So the quality of these parts is crap compared to what they have these days. That's why I never use this stuff, but I got hundreds of them laying around because we never used them. So we're just going to throw this thing together. It's going to be this will live 5,000 to 10,000 miles this top end, depending on how you drive it and how good you keep the oil in it. The key part is keeping good oil in it. So if you keep good oil in it, you'll get over 5. If you don't, you'll get less. So all I'm going to do, these aren't really honed to fit because they already go in here nice and loose. So they're already pretty darn loose already. So I'm just going to knock off the high spots and the burrs. The only reason these are in here. So the intake here, the intake is slightly tight but not much. Flip down a little bit, you can see better. So All I'm going to do is just kind of open the things up just slightly, make sure the holes don't have burrs in them, and that's about all I'm doing. Intake, it's a little snug, so I loosened up a lot. Off the high spots, that's what it got loosened. That stone, swap over to a finer stone. Going to finer stone basically is less break it miles. It knocks off the high spots. Just like doing a paint job, the finer it is, the better it looks, smoother it is. Same thing on this. Make sure the intake has some clearance in it. Pretty loose. But not loose exhaust. Really loose. Probably got 5 thou clearance in it. The old way of doing stuff. 5 to 6 thou is new. Nowadays 4 is worn out junk. You put them at 1.5 to 2 these days. So these old valves, you can put them in there 2 to 3, but 5 is definitely loose. Alright, so this is all good to go on this. We're going to go ahead and clean this all up, and we'll do the valve job itself. Alright, back on these heads. Even though it's a low dollar rebuild, doesn't mean I cheapen up too much on what I want to do. For quality wise. So right now I'm filing off the stars here where they stick up slightly. So instead of doing a surface job, we're just going to do a file job. You're going to make sure you use a file that's curved in the right direction. All files have a bit of a bow to them. So you want to make sure you use the high spot is on this side, and that's the side you go against. So it goes against the surface like this. It doesn't dig in the sides. If you go like this, it cuts the 2 sides away, not the middle. So you have to look at how it files on the surface to see which way your file goes. And then I usually mark it with the red on the side I want up, so I know. Okay, so you can see where I knocked the stars down a little bit, right where the file marks are. Trying to stay off the gasket surface here where it matters for sealing. So just knocking off some stuff. I'm going to have to helicoil up this one stud hole because there's no threads in it. So I'm going to have to do that too. This one here's already got a helical on it, so it's good to go. Now this has a problem with the head gasket sealing surface here. So this is probably going to preclude me doing a quickie. Yeah. So we can't do a quickie, we're actually going to have to surface the heads now, so. Or do something, I'm not sure what here. I might actually have to weld the head. Yeah. I don't know if you can see it or not. It's right here, it's got a big low spot in there where it's trying to come off the cylinder and it wouldn't come out of the bike because it's a big stroker motor. It's tall. So it screwed up the head surface here on this side and over here on this side. Actually, it's on this bolt here. So more than likely, I'm going to have to cut about 30 thou off the head gasket surface or do some welding. So I'll probably do some welding.
We're making a 3-top house right now. Looks like it's cleaning up. So it looks like a return path. Yeah, run the return path. Yeah, the cutter doesn't like steel. There's different colors when it hits it.
So you can see a different color here, but you can't feel it. Smooth. Alright, so it was all done. We went up taking, looks like about 7 thousandths off. So I'll come back and check this other clearance up under here, and good on this head. Alright, we got the two nicks in the head welded up right here. So now I'll go ahead and cut these down. Tip the fly. You want to video it? Well, when the focus doesn't work, pull off the zoom. When the zoom gets more than halfway across the screen there, it's too much. The video's all out of focus most of the time. Stop over here. flat, is it? Take a look there. Barely hitting here. All right.
Big warp. You recording? Yeah.
Yep.
You know what the head is, yeah? You know what that head is?
Oh, yeah.
Big time.
Not even hitting on our side. How does that happen?
Heat and pressure. Your head's going up to the middle a little bit. Big low spot over there, that's for damn sure. It's low right where this oil hole is too, which is probably why it's leaking a little bit.
Is that the shiny? Is the low?
Low is the dull areas.
How come it's more shiny right here?
It's the way the cutter's going across the surface. The bit's dull right now, you saw it shooting the sparks out. When it hit
Yeah.
the steel, it's getting dull. I'm gonna sharpen the bit right now. And kill the video for a couple minutes.
Gotcha.
You said it, but whatever. Yeah, we gotta clean this area up right on this hole because I want an oil leak. Where I welded it here, it's, you know, it's got metal there now. Before it was like 30 thou low. Being low out here doesn't really hurt anything. It's the head gasket surface right here in the inner quarter inch here is what matters. Everything else doesn't really matter, but when you get around this oil hole here, we want to make sure it's got metal. So I'll cut off another, probably 2 thou pass, see what happens. We got a new bit in here right now, so I'm gonna reset the surface anyway. This one here is 35 thou taller than the other one. Shoot over and see what we get. There's over this tip. see the difference in finish already. Got this long screw. It's cutting now.
Still throwing sparks.
Do some sparks. It's making them real good already. Already going it. Now we're seeing what the speed is. Just the fly.
No. Stop.
I didn't change the cutter depth, I just changed where the head's at, so it cuts at a different angle now. So it's not overlapping the same cut, it's cutting the high spot there. Show what you did after you cut. So this is where we welded here and here. You can see how it's no porosity and nice clean. And you can see how the head still didn't clean out over here yet, but it doesn't matter out there. Key is around this whole area here, it's all clean. You can see how it's still not clean right on this edge. It doesn't mean anything out there. So now we got to recut the bore here where we got the two welds in here. We have to cut these out. So that's the next thing to do. Swap out cutter. We're centering our head up so we can cut it. So just kind of eyeball it initially, get close, and you bring it in closer. Drop it down in the hole, now you can break your bit off if you're wrong. So you're getting over there. Whatever you do, you want to make sure you don't bang into that one. It's not good for the cutter when you do that. So we're not hitting anything yet. 0, 5, and a lot more. 0 on that side.
2.5 there. That's 0.
It was. I just moved it. I should have got 1 now. 1.5 the other way. What do we got now over there?
2.
So this one here, I see a high spot in there, goes up and down. So 0 is our high, 2 under is our low. That one's 0. 0 there. 0 there. We're a lot evener on that side. Yeah, we close to 0 over there. Close.
Yeah, when you come back to right here, there's a high spot too.
Yeah, we don't care about the high, we just care about the average. So we're pretty much around 0 all through there.
Right there is a 5.
It's not perfect.
Okay.
Doesn't have to be perfect. It's just clearance is all it is up in there. You saw how even the head gasket surface was. You didn't think the rest of the head was going to be even, did you? Alright, flip that off. Let's get the cutter in here. Feeds. This is where it stopped. And this is where I just hit. So we set our 0 over here. Back it up a little bit. Give ourselves 20 on the good side, just in case it didn't hold up. So here's a little bit of a heavy hit there for one shot. Go ahead and back it out. Do our first cut. Pull back our 0. Alright, a little bit too far. Alright, there's 0. It's a good starting point. Okay. First one. Another 50. Another 50.
50 is a quarter turn.
Half a turn. Let's go half a turn. So. You gotta make sure not to turn around right now because you're down, see. That hurts something. Okay, so just stick the red over there. And then extra pull the file down. And we'll freak out. I'm going to measure her depth. See what the clearance is right now. And I didn't cut the machine deep enough, see? 194, we're good. We'll go ahead and fog it down a couple of thou just for the hell of it. There's a couple thou extra. We have a lot to go, so now we got to start feeding a little slower. There's 30. Figure where we're at now. This one's 388. 873. So it's 15 thou. You multiply by 2, 30 thou more to go, roughly. So we'll give it 20. We don't want to cut too much.
So when you say you give it 20, so that's actually 10. You multiply by 2, right?
No, this one cuts diameter. This cuts diameter. You say cut 2, it cuts 2. The lathe over there, you cut 2, you cut 4. Each one's different. You know how your lathe. Some lathes work the other way. See how we're hitting right here? Your high spot? See, we just hit right there.
Oh yeah, my high spot where it was coming around to the 5.
Yep, that's showing your high spot. We're at 83 right there. Right here we're at 83 right there. And this spot over here, between our high spot and our weld spot, we're 78, see. 79, there's 80 way over there. We gotta measure our cylinder, see what the cylinder is. 73. So if we're anywhere over 75, it'll go right on that cylinder. Should, right? So looks like we got plenty of material here already. So I think we're good. So now let's go ahead and check it. We'll pull this out, put the cylinder on and make sure it clears. And if it does, we're good. Otherwise, you gotta come back. Yep. Go ahead and turn the aft camera. There's all the clearance. See, that's factory clearance. And this is what I just cut. Plenty of room. That's more slop than I want to do. So that's done with that. So I'm going to deburr the sharp edge. And I got to heat a one of these holes. I got to heat a that head over there. Alright, so we got to clean this mess up.